Hi everyone, my name is Akash and welcome to PySpark Learning Hub. In this video, we will be solving an PySpark problem. All the problem I will be discussing are sourced from various platforms like LeetCode, HackerRank, SQLPad, or they are from real interview scenarios. I will be demonstrating my approach or my way of solving PySpark problem. Any PySpark problem solving process typically involves few important steps. Step 1, understanding and discussing the problem. Step 2, identifying the input data and expected output. Step 3, writing the PySpark code to solve the problem. Alright, let's see today's problem statement. So, what today's problem statement is the duplicate emails. We have to write a PySpark program to report all the duplicate emails. There is a note also that is that it is guaranteed that the email field is not null. So in short, what we have to do is we have to write a PySpark problem or PySpark code to identify the duplicate emails, and we have to print all the duplicate emails. So the difficulty level of this problem is easy. Initially, few days I will cover the easy problems itself so that everyone can understand how does PySpark works. Okay, what are the basics? After few videos I will be creating I will go a bit medium level of difficulty problem, and again after solving few medium level problems I will go for hard level problems. I will be sharing this document or this particular code so that you don't have to waste your time in writing the schema and creating the data set. So you will directly work on solving the problem instead of wasting your time in creating the schema and data. So this is how our data is looking like. This is what the step 1 is. Now let's go to step 2 and see what is the input data is looking like and what is the expected output. So input data, what we have is we have a ID column and an email column. We have three records, record 1, 2, 3. And if you see, for record 193 we have a duplicate email. That is the reason in the output you are getting this particular email as a output because it is duplicate, which is ID 193. So only we are printing the emails, not the ID. So this is how our input and output is looking like. This is a pretty simple problem. We can solve it in few steps itself. So this is very easy. Um so before starting step 3, I want you all to pause this video and try to solve it. If you didn't get the solution also, it is fine, but it is important to give a try. Remember, practice is the only way to learn PySpark. Alright, let's see the step 3. For step 3, let's go on to the Jupyter notebook which I'm using. Here I have imported few important functions and the types so that I can create the StructType schema. So I have created a Spark session. In previous video also I have explained how do we create a Spark session. Basically what we do is we use Spark session dot builder function. We set up few configurations such as what should be the warehouse, what should be the port, so on and so forth. And we have enabled the Hive support, and we are using yarn as a master, and we are creating a Spark session. Okay, so the basic intent, this enable Hive support is optional. If you use this you will be able to write spark.sql query also. So whenever we are creating Spark session we do enable the Hive support, so that if you are more comfortable in SQL, what you can do is you can write spark.sql query also to solve this problem, or you can write the functions which are available in the Python or PySpark. So this is how we create the Spark session. And let's try to create the data frame first. How do we create the data frame? In previous video also I have explained. Now you should be familiar on how we should create the data frame. What we do is we do a give a name Let's give empdf, and what we write is spark dot create data frame function, and in argument we give data. Correct, we have two argument, one is the data, what should be the data, and what should be the schema, right? So after that, if we want to see how does our data frame looks like, what we do is, which function do we use? That's correct, we use show function. And if you want to see what the schema, right, if you want to see what is the schema of empdf, what which function do we use? That's correct, we use print schema function. Let's try to execute this particular cell and see. There you go, see, we have the input data, we have created the input data frame, and we have the schema something like this, id which is integer, email as a string. Now to get the expected output, what we have to do is we have to identify the duplicate email, right? So what we can do is we can create a data frame which has email and how many times it that email is there in that particular data frame. So what we can get is we can get email and we can get the count how many times that particular email is present in the data frame. So to achieve this thing, what we can do is we have to group it by email, right? So let's try to group it by email. Let's see how do we write that particular statement in PySpark. Okay, so to write or to perform group by, what we do is empdf dot, we have a group by function, and which column you want to group it by. Okay, so you want to group it by email column, right? So you will give a email. Okay, now you know this is a function. Okay, so you have to import it from PySpark dot sql dot functions. I think this is PySpark. Okay, PySpark dot sql dot functions, we want to import colon and we want to import count also. So after grouping by, what you want, which aggregate function you want to use, you want to use the count aggregate function, right? So we will give the count, and let's see how does the output is looking like. Let's execute that. Okay, count, what it is saying is colon. Okay, from this import we have missed it, right? So we have to write import. There you go, see, now we we have achieved how many times these distinct emails are. Okay, for example, this email is there for two times and this particular email is there for one time. So what we have to do is, now after achieving this, what we can do is we can apply a filter where the email count is greater than 2. Okay, so for that, let's try to save this result into a particular df. Okay, let's use group by df is equal to, and dot show function. Okay, now let's use the same thing. Let's use filter option. Either you can use where also or filter also, both works the same. I usually go for filter option. Okay, filter, how do you use the filter? Again same, on which column you want to use the filter, on the count, right? You want to check the count should be greater than or equal to 2. Okay, and what, let's see how does the result is looking like. There you go. So now in the output, if you see, we are only getting the email. We don't want this particular count. Now to get the output only as a email, which function do you use? Yes, correct. That is select function we use. Select which column you want to use. We want only email as a output, right? So this we have encountered multiple times, this select query. So now you should be familiar with this particular function and show. Let's see how does the output looking like. There you go. So we have achieved the expected output. If you see, we are getting the expected output. Now, I just want to show you few more things. How do you refer to a particular column? In PySpark, we have multiple ways you can refer to a particular column. What do I mean by that? Okay. Instead of column, you can write group by df dot count also. Okay. To refer to a particular column, you can write like this also. Let's try to print this thing. Okay. Okay. Dot function dot count. Okay. Oh, okay. It is not like this. It is like this. Okay. See, you can use like this also. You can refer to a particular column like this also. You can use dot count also. Let me show you that also. Okay. Dot email we want, right? Dot email. Dot email. Data frame object has no attribute email. Group dot email. I think this is email. We have to give caps. There you go. See, here also we can refer dot count. Okay. It was some error. Okay, let's see if we can refer dot count here or not. Okay, greater than. Okay, so what it is saying is we cannot use greater than equal to with this function. If you want to use, you have to use like this only. Okay. So by this example, what I wanted to show you is you can refer to a column like this also, or you can use the function like this also, or you can refer to a particular column like this also. Now it is up to you how you want to decide, but the usual standard what people use in PySpark is the column function. Okay, so that's why I always use column to point to a particular column. Okay, call function, I use call function to point to a particular column. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show. We have successfully got the expected output. So this is how we need to solve any PySpark problem. Remember the steps which I have explained in this video. Try to apply the same approach to solve any PySpark problem. Remember, practice is the only way to learn PySpark. Tell us how you have solved this problem in the comment section. Don't forget to like and share this video to help others on their PySpark journey. The more you practice, the better you become. So keep practicing and keep learning. Thank you.